Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started. Triple H assumed the position of WWE's Chief Content Officer following Vince McMahon's initial retirement in 2022. Former WWE employee Tommy Carlucci recently claimed the game could have left the promotion following the former chairman's comeback. After McMahon retired, his daughter and Triple H's wife, Stephanie McMahon, became the new co-CEO of the Stamford-based company. However, the billion-dollar princess resigned in January 2023 following her father's return as executive chairman. Meanwhile, the game's close friend, WWE Hall of Famer Kevin Nash, recently claimed the 14-time world champion would have followed in his wife's footsteps if McMahon had stripped him of creative control upon his return. Addressing Nash's comments on the Behind the Turnbuckle podcast, Tommy Carlucci claimed Triple H could have left the company to make a point after McMahon's return. Boy, there's a lot there. Listening to Kevin Nash and knowing how tight he is with Triple H, I find it hard to believe that Triple H would walk away. But to make a point, I could see Triple H walking away. And when I say walk away, I'm not saying go to AEW and become Tony Khan's right-hand man. I mean just totally leaving the business so guys in Endeavor see it and say like, wow. He's not even going to AEW and this is a great mind and we can work with him better. He's younger, he said. Carlucci pointed out that McMahon wanted no part in any Triple H projects, including NXT, stating that might have been another motivation for the game to depart the company upon the 78-year-old's return. And the fact is, if something Vince didn't do and Triple H did do, Vince would want no part of it, namely NXT. So, I think he would have laid out and left. It would have been a while or who knows how long it could have been, but it is some interesting words that are coming from Kevin Nash. Knowing how much Triple H loves the business, for him to walk away, that is a big deal. From 340 to 438, WWE veteran claims Triple H has flipped on Vince McMahon. Former WWE head writer Vince Russo recently addressed Triple H and Stephanie McMahon's current relationship with Vince McMahon. He claimed they were no longer on good terms. The 63-year-old stated in an interview with the Wrestling with the Devil podcast that he believes the game and the billion-dollar princess have flipped on the former chairman. I think Triple H has flipped on Vince. Triple H and Stephanie, I believe that without a doubt, he said. Triple H works closely with Bruce Pritchard, a former close associate of McMahon. In the same interview, Russo claimed Pritchard is now an informant for the 78-year-old. In the wake of intense speculation surrounding WWE's internal dynamics, the wrestling world was recently abuzz with a surprising revelation from a former employee. The claim? Triple H, widely regarded as one of the most influential figures behind WWE's creative success in recent years, was allegedly contemplating leaving the company to make a statement about the return of a major executive. This bombshell revelation has left fans, wrestlers, and industry insiders alike questioning the future of WWE's leadership and the potential repercussions. The power struggle behind the scenes, according to the ex-employee, who chose to remain anonymous. Tensions within WWE began to escalate once rumors surfaced about the return of a certain major executive. Though no names were explicitly mentioned, many speculate that this could be Vince McMahon, the longtime WWE chairman who temporarily stepped back from his role due to various controversies. Vince's potential return to a more hands-on position in WWE sent shockwaves through the company, particularly given the stark contrast between his vision and that of his son-in-law, Triple H. Triple H, whose real name is Paul Levesque, had taken the reins of WWE's creative direction following McMahon's departure. Under Triple H's leadership, WWE saw a resurgence in fan engagement, a focus on long-term storytelling, and the elevation of new talent. His approach, blending elements of both sports entertainment and a more athletic, competitive style of professional wrestling, endeared him to the wrestling community. His efforts were not only praised by fans, but by many in the locker room who felt they finally had a voice and were part of a more cohesive vision. However, the ex-employee explained that with the potential return of the major executive, Triple H felt the weight of impending change. It wasn't just about power, the source explained. It was about principle. Triple H had worked tirelessly to reshape the company in a way that connected with the audience. But with this executive potentially coming back, there was this looming sense that everything he had built could be undone. A silent protest? The former employee hinted that Triple H's rumored departure was more than just a power play, it was about making a point. He's someone who's always believed in the future of the business, the source continued. He didn't want to be part of something where his vision didn't align with those at the top. If the old guard was coming back and pushing out his ideas, he was ready to walk away. He wasn't doing it for drama or headlines. It was about standing up for what he believed in. If true, Triple H's potential departure would not have been a public spectacle. Instead, it would have been a silent protest, his way of saying that he could not in good faith stay with the company if it meant compromising his values or the direction he felt was best for the future. The ex-employee emphasized, Paul's always been someone who lets his actions speak louder than his words. If he left, it would have sent a message without him having to say a single word. The locker room's reaction, the former employee also described the potential ripple effect of Triple H's rumored departure on the WWE locker room. Many superstars who had flourished under his leadership, from rising stars like Gunther and Rhea Ripley to established names like Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, were reportedly concerned about the shift in direction. Triple H had cultivated an environment of trust, creativity, and respect, where performers felt their ideas were heard and where the focus was on in-ring performance and long-term character development. If Triple H were to leave, there is no doubt in my mind that many talents would have seriously considered following him out the door, the ex-employee revealed. A lot of the talent in the back respected him not just as a leader, but as someone who understood what it meant to be a wrestler in this business. The company's vision at a crossroads, WWE, under Triple H's guidance, had seen a new era of storytelling, one that harkened back to the days of compelling narratives intertwined with physical excellence in the ring. This approach stood in stark contrast to the more entertainment-focused, sometimes erratic creative direction under Vince McMahon. With the possibility of McMahon's return, many wondered if WWE would revert to the ways of old, where quick ratings pops and shock value trumped long-term storytelling and character investment. The ex-employee noted that this internal debate between two very different visions of professional wrestling was at the heart of the tension. Triple H and Vince don't see eye to eye on what WWE should be. Triple H's philosophy is about building a product that can stand the test of time, where characters evolve naturally and the stories resonate. But Vince has always been about making headlines, and sometimes that means sacrificing the bigger picture. If Vince McMahon's return were indeed on the horizon, it would represent a significant shift in WWE's creative direction, one that could undo much of the progress made under Triple H's tenure. A pivotal moment for WWE's future as the rumor mill continues to churn. One thing is clear, WWE stands at a pivotal moment. The decisions made in the coming months could shape the company's future for years to come. If the major executive does return to power, and if Triple H were to walk away, it could signify the end of an era, one that many fans and wrestlers had come to cherish. The ex-employee left with a final thought: WWE is more than just a company. It's a legacy. And right now, it feels like that legacy is at a crossroads. Paul's departure, if it happens, would be a turning point. It's not just about him leaving, it's about what that departure would symbolize for the future of WWE. As fans continue to speculate, all eyes remain on WWE's next move, waiting to see whether Triple H's influence will endure or if the company will return to the hands of its former leadership, with all the implications that follow. The wrestling world holds its breath, knowing that whatever happens next could change the landscape forever.